Oh, that was good. That was good. That was good. The drink, I mean, the drink was great. Oh man. Oh man. Oh buddy. Damn, that was great. The reactions from that alone warrant that clip be utilized more often. And I know there are people in this chat who I know every time they see it now, they're just going to be mortified. So, you know what? Oh, well, I think I teased in the Discord that I had a new clip. There you go, gentlemen. That's it. That was my new clip. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that one. Good job, South Park. Boy, they've been knocking it out of the park with 2 episodes. Apparently there's 50 more. There's 48 more. There's 50 episodes total or some shit like that. It's pretty fucking impressive. But hey, you know, that was that I saw that and I laughed. Does that make me an awful person? Probably. But you know, if you understand the joke, you understand the joke. It's hilarious. No joke, no lie. Like what South Park is doing right now in regards to mocking real world situations going on in the United States pertaining to the current administration. It is hilarious. Even though I've only just seen the clips, but I'm terrified to watch any of this because I feel like I will actually have a heart attack from laughing so hard. But I don't know. Anyway, welcome to Friday Phil, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed that nice little introduction, courtesy of Paramount Global. Not really. They're not really sponsoring my stupid little ass, but you know, they approved that lovely little shot there of crypto getting shot in the head, which makes me laugh because I'm an awful human being. Who is here? Got Dalton Bell. Happy Friday, Phil. Today is a day of celebration for me as I am a fan of a franchise that turns 11 today. Well, I don't know what franchise is that, but good for you, Dalton. Hey, Braden, how you doing? My mod Jeffrey is in the house. What's going on? Oh, Flippy Flappers. That's us. Hope everyone is having a wet day. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the pavement got wet with crypto's blood, didn't it? See, poor crypto. Poor crypto. Bad Phil. Bad. Here, Darren, there you go. Make you feel better? I hope so. I'm going to rework that to be a cat and see if you still laugh. Dude, if you rework it with a cat, the cat's still wearing the cape. It's going to be a super cat. Of course I'm going to laugh. It's not my cat. If you make it my cat, then I'll be kind of mad, but yeah, man. Okay, happy Friday. Man, people really need to stop listening to Jeff Snyder. He is not always right. There is no way in hell James Gunn is going to put Matt Reeves' Batman in the DCU. My day is always wet, Lance. Okay, Mom. Okay. Joker, is that you? Possibly. South Park is just so funny. I wonder what James Gunn's reaction to that was. He was probably like, "Oh, they shot my dog." That's probably what he thought, but I don't know. But Daryl says, and what people forgetting is that Batman is a Warner Brothers IP and has nothing to do with James Gunn and DCU. No, that's not entirely. Well, yes and no, but the thing is like James Gunn and Peter Safran Like they oversee everything DC related, film, television, animation, video games too, apparently. So then the Batman Part 2 would fall under their category. The only reason I don't think they took on Joker Folie à Deux was probably because, well, it was probably well decided before that even Joker was so far removed you could hardly even consider it an Elseworld story. But I don't know. I'm not really like one way or the other about any of that. Like I just listen. I'll just yeah. The rumor started I think last night about Robin apparently being in the Batman Part 2 and the Part 2 having like big swings and this, that, and the other bullshit. And this was, of course, provided by, where is he? There we go.
Dirty rat.
That dirty rat, Jeff Snyder. I guess who's probably, if I had to guess, probably on the Rocha Hot Mic show or whatever, he said some bullshit about the Batman Part 2. And then, well, James Gunn doing the James Gunn thing that he does. Promptly went and, oh man, what a shame. What a shame. What a shame. Oh man. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What does he say? DCU Prime TV, and I've actually like kind of interacted with this account once or twice. Robin is reportedly in the script for the Batman Part 2. The sequel will be as dark as the first and will take a big swing with Matt Reeves and Mattson Tomlin really going for it. James Gunn says, guys, please stop believing this nonsense. I think 6 of us have read the script. No one knows anything about the Batman 2. Well, there you have it. There you have it. There you have it. Robin is not in Batman Part 2. It's I don't know why people thought that would even be a consideration, because Matt Reeves was clearly not thinking about Robin at all during Part 1. So I where does the whole Robin of it all, where would that even fit into play given the current landscape of what is Gotham City? It's a war-torn, mortified zone of water and debris, destruction, and just this crippling grip for power between the rich and the poor. Like the whole legal system has been kind of blown wide open because of everything that happened with the renewal program. So I don't know how you would even try to fit in like a Robin subplot in any of that. Yeah, no. I mean, even going back to the first movie, like Matt Reeves talked about how this is very much like a Batman Gordon kind of Holmes and Watson-esque story, and that's kind of through the whole thing. And it's like, yeah, why the hell would you even bother trying to bring in Robin, especially this early into the career? It just didn't make sense. And so when I saw that people were pushing that crap from Jeff Snyder, I was like, okay, give it time. It'll get the thumbs down. And sure enough, it did. But people see, the little sidekick in the yellow shirt, and they fucking, get all happy. But we all know what the problem is. We know exactly what the problem is.
Maybe the problem is the fuck puppet delivering. Oh yeah.
The problem is the fuck puppet who delivers this bullshit. I've said it on more than one occasion. Jeff Snyder is a classless thief. He is full of shit. His words, pretty much on anything DC, should not at all be taken seriously or into consideration whatsoever. Like, he got like one casting right for the HBO show for Lanterns, and outside of that, he's been predominantly wrong. So the fact that he's wrong about this doesn't shock me in the slightest. It's just like, come on, guys, can we stop giving this, like, creepy middle-aged man our attention and time, because he sometimes comes on John Roach's show and occasionally drops some possible real news because people feel bad for him, I guess. I don't know, dude. Like, it amazes me that he has continued to be proven wrong about so much DC stuff, and yet he still continues to be like, oh, this is a thing in DC Studios, or oh, this is absolutely the case with this project. And it's just like, dude, shut up. Just stop. Like, please, just stop talking. Like, you clearly do not have an in here at this leg of Warner Brothers. So just do yourself a favor, Chief, and just stop. I don't know. I don't know what to say, guys. Like, I saw the news and I was like, yeah, that's bullshit. That's total bullshit. Sure enough, it's true. Yeah. The true part of it being bullshit. Yeah. Like, oh, I'm not playing any music. I just realized that. Not any you guys didn't tell me the music wasn't playing. Why? There we go. Jeff Snyder has a bad rap with other journalists and other news outlets. I don't get it. Phil Roach and Harloff seem like good guys. Why did they platform this dude? I don't know. Frankly, you know what? They want to platform that clown. They can, happily platform that clown. I mean, someone's got to perform somewhere, right? It's kind of my impetus on the whole thing. Everyone's got to perform somewhere. So, speaking of performing, God, where was I going to go with this? I have no idea, guys. There wasn't really too much to talk about, but there was some big shit to talk about. But you know what? Let's scroll the timeline real quick. Let's scroll my Threads timeline. There we go. See if we find some funny shit before we move on to some cool shit. Reported details on the DC script Zach Kreger wrote. This is from Culture Crave via THR. I really wish they'd actually throw THR in the link with that. It's called Henchman, low-level henchman in Gotham who gains notoriety by incapacitating Batman through a stroke of luck. Harley Quinn and Joker have roles in the story. Hasn't pitched to DC yet via THR. Let's see. Oh, wow. Holy shit. They did link it. How about that? Let's see. Let's see. I'm reading this bit here. Then there's that getting attention online. Henchman, a potential DC Studios movie that's called the favorite script he's ever written, in which he penned before his 2022 breakout. Barbarian, according to sources, Henchman would center on low-level henchman in the Gotham crime world who gains notoriety after managing to incapacitate Batman through a stroke of luck. The Dark Knight could appear briefly in the movie, while Harley Quinn and Joker, the project as well. Zach Kreger has not yet pitched to DC Studios, though the company is said to be aware of his interest. But even with Kreger being one of the most in-demand filmmakers in town, like any IP swing, Henchman faces several hurdles. DC Studios hasn't yet cast a Joker or a Batman. Harley Quinn, theoretically, but probably not. could still be played by James Gunn's The Suicide Squad star Margot Robbie. And DC bosses Gunn and Peter Safran likely want to be careful with anything Batman related while they allow the Batman filmmaker Matt Reeves to make Batman Part 2 and perhaps even a Batman Part 3. There's no telling what villains would factor into that one, so Gunn and Safran don't want to step on his toes and double up on villains for that universe. A fun aside, the Batman 2 is now gearing up for a spring shoot, but first Robert Pattinson's planned on filming Dune Part 3. That's right. He is filming that, indeed. As for Kreger, he's aware none of these grand plans may even be possible unless he pulls off Resident Evil first. Wow. Interesting. That script, written with Shay Hatton, there's a familiar name, takes inspiration from the games. Rather than previous 7 movies in the franchise, it is a relatively contained thriller, according to one person who has read it, and features a protagonist on a desperate mission to get from one point to another with plenty of zombies in the way. Anyway, thank you for making your destination today. We hope it's not final. Interesting. So yeah, looks like Zach Kreger wrote a whole DC movie called Henchman. Interesting. It's like, what if it focused on the Johnny Frost of it all instead of the Joker and the Harley of it all? Yeah, I guess I can get behind that. It'd be kind of cool. Be different. Yeah, that'll be cool. That would be cool. I wouldn't mind seeing old Zach Kreger take a crack at something DC related, especially something weird like that. You probably could even do that on a very minimal budget too. Probably doesn't need very much. Snyder shouldn't talk unless spoken to, and even then still shouldn't talk about anything comic movie wise. Yep. That's a fact. He should not be talking. And he does a lot of talking. So that's another thing. Batman Part 2 is officially going to start filming in the spring. I don't know why that was so dramatic. What? Meow. I know. It's too dramatic, huh? Yeah, Batman Part 2 starts filming this spring, which means they will probably start casting for it soon. They're going to start shooting the movie in the spring. Yeah, they're probably going to start reading for it soon, if I had to guess. I had a feeling like Batman Part 2 would be the next movie to go into production following Clayface, and kind of sounds like that's to be the case. So, question is now, what is the story of the Batman Part 2? Script has been done since June, according to the trades. I don't believe that for a second, but that's a different conversation. Anyway, who is the big bad of the Batman Part 2? Is it Two-Face? Is it Mr. Freeze? Is it Deathstroke? It'd be real fucking interesting if that was the case. If it was Deathstroke. Maybe a Poison Ivy, maybe a Mr. Freeze. I don't know. I've wanted a Mr. Freeze. I think Mr. Freeze would be a really fun one. Batman Part 2. Given the time of year this movie's gonna allegedly take place in. Probably somewhere in the winter season. Just feels kind of fitting to have a wintry themed villain. But I could be totally off. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm excited. I live for Batman. Batman's my number one guy. I will absolutely be watching that production like a hawk. That's for damn sure. That is for damn sure. Anyway. Oh, new Final Destination movies in the works too with Bloodlines co-writer. Interesting. Oh, a lot of stuff on THR. How Fantastic Four writer Eric Pearson became a Marvel secret weapon. Interesting. Busy Scribe, known for Thor Ragnarok, Black Widow, and Thunderbolts, recounts secrets from his 15 years in Marvel Studios family. Screenwriter Eric Pearson once spent an entire week. Pull the screen over here so I can see your guys' comments too. I think the main villain of part 2 is either the Court of Owls or Hush. That'd be cool. Winter is coming. Winter is coming indeed. We got to get through fall first. Screenwriter Eric Pearson once spent an entire week watching Captain America: The First Avenger in 5-minute increments. His mission: find split-second moments in which stars Chris Evans could add lines such as "head to the base" during ADR to help tie the movie together. Massaging dialogue into a movie that's essentially completed is considered grunt work for a screenwriter. There's no opportunity to really shape the story, and for Pearson, there would be no credit. But the scribe, then an up-and-coming employee of Marvel Writers Program, had the mantra that there was no such thing as grunt work when it came to writing. He was just thrilled someone was actually paying him to do it. Nearly 15 years later, Pearson is now a go-to writer for Marvel, penning Thor Ragnarok, didn't like it. Black Widow, good. Thunderbolts, amazing. Fantastic Four First Steps, incredible. And his potential Blade movie, which he declined to discuss. That's funny. His films have earned more than $2.5 billion globally to date. He has also dabbled in TV, working on Marvel and ABC's short-lived but well-loved Captain America spinoff. Agent Carter. He went on set. He was in the editing room. He gave notes on visual effects, says co-showrunner Tara Butters of Pearson. But perhaps his greatest superpower was connecting with actors. Much of his career has been spent on set writing lines on the fly. He's always constantly trying to help them be the best version of the character, says Butters. As evidence of the actor's affection towards Pearson, Butters shared a birthday photo of Pearson after she and lead Haley Atwell wrapped his entire office in wrapping paper. Interesting. This article's fucking large, and I really don't feel like reading more of it, but that's really cool. I'm gonna have to read more of that, though. Like, Eric Pearson is the go-to guy, even though if he wrote, like, one of the hands-down, like, worst Marvel movies on the planet, i.e. Thor Ragnarok. But yeah, that's interesting. Very interesting. Oh, wow. This is interesting. Marvel director Jake Schreier shares his thoughts on leading the franchise's reboot for the MCU. After anticipation and countless fan cast rumors, fans are thrilled about this announcement. Schreier's brief insight hint at a fresh direction for the beloved series, reigniting excitement among longtime fans and followers. Oh, it's Heroic Hollywood. I don't like Heroic Hollywood. Why did I click on that? That's shitty. The X-Men finally have a director. Schreier gave his rather brief thoughts about helming the project. His thoughts are... the core idea of what X-Men is involves complexity, Schreier explained in the playlist. It's an incredible opportunity with super interesting characters and much internal conflict. These are characters are wrestling with their identity and place in the world. That's inherently interesting and complex material. Interesting. One of the biggest questions when it comes to the reboot, how Jake Schreier plans to make the MCU's X-Men feel different than the two prior stabs at making a connected universe for the team. The director still couldn't say much. However, he did suggest that the reboot will bring a scale to the character not yet seen in prior incarnations. I think that's fair to say that Red Sniper dot out there somewhere, you know, but to be able to explore all the ideas that are inherent, that are rich to the source material, but also the scale inherent to the source material, that's like a very rare and fortunate opportunity. It's very exciting. I can agree to that. It was pretty, yeah, okay. Yeah, I think Jake Schreier kind of gets it. Kind of mad I fucking read that from Heroic Hollywood, but whatever. I don't care. That was cool. That was cool. I missed that show as well. Dalton, yeah. Agent Carter, that was a good one. What do you think of the set photos from Spider-Man Brand New Day and the Punisher special? Well, I guess we can just kind of jump right into that. We're on that side of the fence now, I suppose. What do I think of Spider-Man Brand New Day? Well, I am a notoriously huge Spider-Man fan, amongst many things. But what started off on, I think it was Friday. Yeah, Friday they did the little suit reveal thing. But then Saturday is when they released, they being Sony, released. God damn it, where is it? Come on. Where art thou? On top of the fact that Mark Ruffalo is apparently coming back for this movie. But yeah, there's that too. Ugh. Why isn't Sony's official page like showing any of this? That's wild. It's so wild. So crazy. But yeah, what do I think of the Spider-Man pictures? I don't know. Let's look at a few of them. Because Marvel apparently has no problem with people looking at them. I don't think I'm going to pull up any videos, but I'll definitely pull up some images. There we go. There's a good one. That's a great one. That's such a great picture. Like, oh my God. Like, wow. What an incredible picture. That is so good. Then there is another one. I think it's a different edit. Yeah. It's from a different angle. Yeah, these are I mean, it's going to be amazing. Like Spider-Man Brand New Day. There's a Spider-Man 4 for once. There is actually going to be Spider-Man for the fourth time. There's going to be a fourth cinematic Spider-Man. It's going to be a character who's had his own movie and portrayed the character more than 3 times. Get a fourth outing. Tom Holland is probably one of the luckiest actors of the generation right now to be able to have that unique opportunity and experience. Not only being the actor to portray Spider-Man in all these Marvel team-ups, but he has now donned the costume more times than Toby and Andrew. Between Civil War, Homecoming, Infinity War, Endgame, Far From Home, No Way Home. Now this, I'll put him at 8. 8 appearances. Tom Holland has over Tobey Maguire's 4, Andrew Garfield's 3. That is up until these next 2 Avengers films, because anyone can show up. Anyone. Like, we know who's showing up, but then there are also the people that they left deliberately absent, and you're probably like, they might be there. Like, it was pretty astonishing that they left, all those names out there and not one Spider-Man actor for Avengers Doomsday. They're either saving him for Secret Wars or they're keeping it very quiet that there is a Spider-Man in Avengers Doomsday. But the beauty is they don't just have one to choose from. They can choose from 3. Considering Deadpool likes hopping on multiple timelines, you could probably justify getting away with that. I don't know, Jeffrey. Someone close to me implied that Mr. Negative might not be the villain, and I don't know. I don't know, like what the villain situation looks like for this movie is. There are rumors on, I think, that other awful place that I'm not on, from certain scoopers, and I don't really want to entertain them. I think it'd be really cool if, Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin would show up. And honestly, I think of all the places that Kingpin theoretically could show up outside of television, it's probably Spider-Man, because Wilson Fisk technically is a Spider-Man villain. He was introduced in a Spider-Man comic. Yeah, like now by all fair definition of the word, he is Daredevil's arch nemesis, absolutely. But I think contractually and as far as rights of the character are concerned, they're tied up with Sony. That's probably why he's never ever mentioned in Thunderbolts. That's why he wasn't mentioned as the president or the mayor. They kind of have to play it a little coy because he's a Spider-Man villain, technically. Which is really weird to think about. Really weird to think about. But the reason I know this is because I looked into why Daredevil had Kingpin in the 20th Century Fox film. Fox bought, they paid Sony to use the character. That's how I know he's a Spider-Man villain. So any other street level movie with any street level character, if it ain't Spider-Man, good luck seeing Kingpin in that movie. I'd be shocked. But it'd be cool. It'd be really cool if it was Kingpin. I heard someone say Tombstone. I'm like, all right, maybe. But Matt Gargan's coming back too. The actor who played him, Michael Mando, he's coming back. Hopefully they'll finally get a Scorpion in a Spider-Man movie. That'll be nice. Punisher and Incredible Hulk are in this movie as well. I'm sure there will be some conflict, some stand a chance, little red. Fuck if I know. I don't know. Spider-Man's in it. John Bernthal's the Punisher's in it. Mark Ruffalo's the Hulk is probably in it. You really don't have to twist my arm. I will watch this movie. Spider-Man, after all, I will absolutely just watch no matter what. Speaking of Spider-Man movies. There is a Spider-Punk film that is in the works. Here we go. Ick. I don't like variety, but here we are. Oh, Spider-Verse spinoff, Spider-Punk in the works with Danielle Kaluuya. The Spider-Verse is expanding again. Spider-Punk, a spin-off of 2023's animated hit Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, is in early development at Sony Pictures Animation. Kaluuya, who voiced the character in the comic book sequel, and a John Singer developing and co-writing the feature. Huh. Plot details haven't been sorted out, but the film will center on the punk rock version of Spider-Man, aka Hobie Brown, whose main weapon is his guitar. Kaluuya's character was introduced along with many other iterations of the beloved web slinger in the multiversal adventure across the Spider-Verse. He is expected to return in Beyond the Spider-Verse from producers Lord and Miller and Amy Pascal, who will also produce the Spider-Punk project. It's unclear when Spider-Punk will be ready to swing into theaters. For now, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, the third entry in the web-slinging trilogy, won't be hitting the big screen until June 25th, 2027. Though little is known about the threequel, the story picks up after the cliffhanger at the end of Across the Spider-Verse, with protagonist Miles Morales, the main Spider-Man in this world, as a fugitive on the run while also trying to save his family from imminent danger. Yeah, that movie went hard. Sony's Spider-Verse films have been critically and commercial winners, with the original grossing $384 million in addition to winning an Oscar, and the sequel amassing an impressive $690 million world at the worldwide box office. Kaluuya broke out in 2017 the Oscar-nominated star of Get Out. The British actor has since appeared on screen in Black Panther, Steve McQueen's crime drama Widows, Jordan Peele's Nope, and the Fred Hampton biopic Judas and the Black Messiah. That's right, which earned Kaluuya his first Oscar statue. He also concurrently developed live-action Barney movie for A24 and Mattel. Deadline first reported the Spider-Punk news. Okay, so it was Deadline, but I found the article from Variety. But that's cool. I'm here for it. Be interesting. I mean, I know in the books it's not. I don't think the character's name is Hobie Brown, but I know like Hobie Brown in the comics is typically the Prowler, and the change here was like they just wanted this version of Spider-Punk to have his own identity unto himself, which I thought was pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, guys, Spider-Punk out when? Couldn't tell you. They're just starting to write it now. That means they're probably gonna. It kind of depends on when they finish that script, but even then, like we saw what it could take to like go back and rework and reword some things, and look what happened with Beyond the Spider-Verse, right? That got delayed. Wasn't finished writing, blah, 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 or whatever. Maybe it was. We don't really know. I don't know. But, the strikes definitely didn't help that movie get released faster. That's the shite part. Yeah. But hey, if they feel confident with a Spider-Punk film, you'd have to imagine it probably takes place after Beyond the Spider-Verse. So, just something to keep in mind. Okay. All right. It's going to be a shorter show today, but before we end, we will end on a good note. And that note is always going to be, of course, box office banter, everyone. That's right. Let's take a look at what is going on with Box Office Mojo. So, as of right now, Fantastic Four is currently sitting at a worldwide total of 248,202. So there's that. Where's my banner? Here we go. What's up, Cameron? So domestically, Fantastic Four: The First Steps has crossed 211 million worldwide domestically, and then internationally it has made 170 million on the international side. So domestically is doing better than international. That seems to be the rule of thumb going forward. Still has all its theaters intact, but I'm sure once Wow, the Thursday numbers haven't even updated. Interesting. Might even be sitting at more. But out this weekend, regarding current weekend, it's Freakier Friday and God, there's that one other movie. Weapons. Zach Kreger Weapons. There we go. Meanwhile, Superman is currently sitting at a worldwide total of 562,716,000. Round down, 562.7 million domestically. It's still at 322 million. It's so weird. The Thursday numbers haven't even updated for Box Office Mojo. That's crazy. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, guys. I don't know why they haven't updated the Thursday numbers. The Naked Gun, domestically currently sitting at 23 million, international 15 million, worldwide total $38 million. Currently playing in three. Okay, this is actually really good. It's doing that well for only playing in 3,345 theaters. This has about 900 theaters less than Fantastic Four. That's wild. But as of Sunday, it domestically made 16 million. What did I say? Like 20 million? I wasn't even sure. Like, I think I said 20 million to 25 million. I was being generous. I was being really generous. And it's just now barely barreling to 25 million domestically. But worldwide, 38 million, that's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. That is not bad at all. The Bad Guys 2 also apparently is doing fairly well. Ended its Sunday run. Oh man, I've been doing that all day. Ended its last Sunday run on 21,099,500. So pretty much $22 million. It's not too bad. But right now it's currently sitting at a domestic total of 31 million. International grand total 22 million internationally for a grand worldwide total of $53 million. So, you know, that's cool. It'll probably do fine in its second weekend. But where are Freakier Friday and Weapons tracking? God damn it. I can't even mute myself right now. This is awful. Son of a bitch. Oh, that's really unpleasant. I'm sorry. Bet the 5 people watching are probably laughing their ass off right now. Oh, here we go. Okay, so Weapons scares up 5.7 million in previews. Freakier Friday smiles wide with 3.1 million. Disney's body swapping comedy Freakier Friday and New Line's acclaimed mystery comedy Weapons are off to the races. The late summer box office. The 2 August picks are expected to end up in a close race for number 1 domestically and topple Marvel Studios struggling to hold over the Fantastic Four the first steps from the top spot. Marvel and parent company Disney are still hopeful the Fantastic Four will rebound, but there are no assurances. Horror could use a win after bombs like as Blumhouse and Talk Monsters Megan 2.0, which opened to only 10 million in June, on its way to topping out at 40 million worldwide compared to the 180 million from the first film. Sucks to suck there. Zach Kreger's Weapons, which currently boasts a 96% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, grosses a hefty 5.7 million in previews. It had been tracking for a domestic debut in the 25 million to 30 million range, but could come in higher. The R-rated title was the subject of a heated bidding war when it came to the market. New Line parent company Warner's plunking down $38 million for the package, which included a $10 million payday for Kreger, who made waves with his debut film Barbarian, which he both wrote and directed. I'm sure you were laughing at my expense, Jeffrey. It's fine. But as far as weapons goes, yeah, I'm going to guess $28 million. 28 and some change. That's what it'll get domestically. Freakier Friday will play in hundreds of the other premium large format screens, including Dolby Cinema. Family comedy reuniting Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis 23 years after Freaky Friday opened. Earned $30.1 million in previews, including sneaks on Wednesday. That's not too bad. That's on par on ahead of Elvis, $3.5 million. The most recent Mean Girls, $3.3 million. And The Lost City, $2.5 million. All of which to open in the $28 to $31 million range. That lines up with what pre-release tracking shows for Freakier Friday. Already boasting a 94% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, it's the first event pick in week to target females and should also benefit from the nostalgia factor. Fun tidbit: after all this time, in 2003, film has popped up on the top 10 list of most watched films on Disney Plus in the last week or so. Gee, I wonder why. Director Nisha Ganatra, the moderately budget $42 million picked up after the events of the first film, with Lohan's character Tess swapping bodies with her mother, played by Curtis. This time out, in a multi-generational twist, they find themselves swapping places respectively with the daughter and soon-to-be stepdaughter of Tess, Julia Butters, Sophia Hammonds, Manny Jacinto, Maitiri Ramakrishnan, sorry if I mispronounced that, Rosalind Chow, Chad Michael Murray, Vanessa Bayer, and Mark Harmon also star. Right, 'cause she married Mark Harmon in the first movie. Also includes a 1976 film based on the book by Mary Rogers. Disney enjoyed great success in tapping up in nostalgia and luring young adults in their 20s and 30s who grew up in the previous installments in its library. For example, its live-action tentpole Lilo and Stitch, based on the 2002 film, is the only Hollywood pick of 2025 so far to clear $1 billion milestone after attracting both families and non-parents. Film studios execs across Hollywood lament how comedies have become an endangered species in the streaming age. Last weekend, Paramount's Naked Gun bucked this trend and opened nearly $17 million domestically, with that film considered more of a straight-up comedy versus a family comedy such as Freakier Friday. It will be good news for all if they both work. Was Freakier Friday looking at $28 million to $31 million? Let's just go right in the middle. $30 million. There. $30 million. There we go. That seems appropriate. So we'll say for weapons, what did I say? 27 million. And then for Freakier Friday, probably an even 30 million. There we go. I think nostalgia wins out at the end no matter what. But I think it'll be interesting to see what the legs look like on weapons. Can't imagine that movie costing too much to make. But, as I mentioned, everyone, it's a bit of a shorter show. There's really not that much to talk about. There's not a lot going on. I'm going to be brutally honest, haven't really felt like doing like original stuff, like doing like reviews or doing a Pokemon playthrough. Honestly, I've just been kicking back and relaxing after my vacation. I kind of just needed a reset, and I enjoy doing this show every week. And that's not to say I didn't look for stuff to talk about this week. We just kind of ran through everything that I did want to talk about. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see like where these two movies land next weekend as far as their second week drop goes, and we'll see how this weekend shakes out. But that'll do it for box office banner. But like I mentioned earlier, I've just been kind of kicking back and taking my time. I'm gonna put out stuff when I feel like I want to put out stuff that I'm comfortable with, because honestly, like the last box office banner I tried to do, like it just, I don't know, like something sounded just awful on my audio, and I feel like I need to like maybe get some new cables or something. I'm not really sure, but it's been a slow week too. There's not a whole lot going on outside of like Spider-Man going into production, and South Park just killing it every week. The last couple weeks, and then I can't wait to see what they do next. Like South Park is trending again. It's going to be wild to see how the White House responds accordingly, because they will. But overall, I'm just kind of chilling, playing my Nintendo Switch 2, waiting for Pokemon Legends ZA. Maybe I'll do some stuff with that once I get that game in the palm of my hands. I've been playing Final Fantasy X. That's kind of the reason why there hasn't been any Pokemon updates or anything like that. I've just been kind of drilling hard in this RPG that I loved so much as a child. But I'm almost done with it. I'll get back to the Pokemon stuff soon. But do me a favor, if you like this stuff, hit that like and subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Tell your friends about me. Do all that fun shit. Phil, are you playing Mafia, the old country game? No, I'm not. I have no idea what that is. But it's been a slow week. I will probably be on the Vodka stream later. But as I always like to say, everyone, much love. Take care. Stay safe. Keep it classy. Toodles. Watch movies. Be informed. Take care.